So for comic books and books this week, things are getting a little weird and big. We have the strange return of Danny Rand. That's going to be a whole thing unto itself. And then we also have the reboot universe for Godzilla, the new shared universe that they're calling Kai-Sei Era. We have all the info for that, so let's get into it. That's all we got. It's just really the two things, but you know, they're still worth talking about, so let's go. Hello nerds, welcome to the Clips channel. This is a clip, as if the channel name was not specific enough. This clip specifically comes from a show that I do over on the main channel called The Week in Nerddom. We are going to be talking about comic books and books very specifically in this clip. So news from the last week that has to do with everything comic books and books. Generally more on the comic book side because the books side of things is kind of a little bit more slow going when it comes to nerdy content, but we do still cover it. So that being said, I appreciate you joining me. Let's get into the news.
Oh, hey nerds. So, just here to remind you this week that subscribing is great. You should do that. It really doesn't cost you much, and it helps us make this show happen. It also keeps me fed, so that's a good thing too, right? You don't want a dragon to get hungry. So hit the subscribe button, tell all your friends. We've gotten a lot of comments recently talking about how, people think we do a good job here. So let your friends know if that's the case, and it really helps us out even more that way. So yeah, there you go. Either way, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for feeding me. Let's get back to nerdy things. Okay, bye.
Okay, no follow-ups and corrections, no trailers in comic books. We do just have news to cover. First up is Undead Iron Fist. So Danny Rand is returning to the role of Iron Fist, but he's returning in a very different kind of way. After his death in the 50th anniversary special a little while back, writer Jason Loo said that the plan was always to bring him back. Just the details as to how that was going to happen is where they still had to work things out. This is apparently how they have chosen to work things out. Now Rand is coming back in order to... It seems like he's kind of an anti-hero in this instance, in this iteration, because he wants to expose the lies of the Iron Fist. Because if the prophecy says the Iron Fist has to die at 33, how do you kill an immortal Iron Fist? Like, how does that work? So that's effectively going to be his motivation through this arc. You should see it on your shelves in the not too distant future. The other book that we have to talk about in comics and books this week is Godzilla, the new Godzilla in the Kai-Sei Era. We have number 1 will be on shelves July 23rd, so next month. Kicks off this new shared universe. The story is set in a world that has been dealing with constant monster attacks since Godzilla first appeared in 1954. While Japan has learned to treat the kaiju like natural disasters, the American G-Force is still focused on fighting them. They discover a young boy named Jacen who can harness the same energy as Godzilla, believing he may be the key to winning the war. Book is written by Tim Seeley and art by Nikola, I'm not going to be able to say that last name, and is set to be released again July 23rd of this year is when book 1 hits the shelves. That's pretty cool. Godzilla is a very difficult thing for modern writers to really write well so as to please modern audiences. I think this has the potential to figure that out. So I'm pretty excited for it. But that is what we have for news this week. Our suggestion for comic books this week is Marvel Zombies. It's been a little while since we talked about this one. It's one of my favorite all-time comics that I have. I think I have the first 3 in the series. There's 5 or 7, I can't remember. But the first book, the first trade, is 5 issues of floppies that ran from December of 2005 through April of 2006. Written by Robert Kirkman, art from Sean Phillips, and covers by a few different people, honestly. But the big one is Arthur Sidum. It was the first, the suggestion is the first book, those first 5 floppies, because that kind of lays the groundwork for whatever everything else is that comes out of this universe. Just kind of seeing this other universe and seeing just how crazy this zombie virus gets is just kind of cool to sit back and read. And so that's why it's your suggestion. I just wanted something big and easy to read and just a hell of a lot of fun. And this was the first thing that came to mind. Like, what should we suggest for the week? We haven't talked about zombies for a long time, so Marvel Zombies it is, baby. Go check out Marvel Zombies. You can get the first 5 issues as a trade. It is a bunch of different mini-series that aren't directly related, though they are related. So the first one is just Marvel Zombies. It's pretty awesome. That's your suggestion for the week. All right, so we're going to take another second here real quick and remind you that this is the season of the merch. We are pushing merch this season real hard. I just put up the surprise, quote-unquote, surprise drop for, I think, honestly, I might just keep this one on the store just because I think it's pretty silly. I don't know, I'm proud of myself in my stupidity, but it's the Confused Millennial t-shirt, Confused Millennial design, because it's more than a t-shirt. You got the hoodie, you got the long sleeve, you got the sticker, you got the mug, you got the shopping bag, all of these options up at the general store, linked down in the description of this episode. You can go check that out. Purchase any one of those things. No coupon code right now because we're not doing our monthly shirt. That begins next week. Next week you'll be getting another 10% coupon code with the design for the month, the temporary design for the month, which I think is going to be real juicy for all of you cinema and music nerds out there. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But right now, go check out the Confused Millennial design and all of the other basic nerd designs up at the Nerdy store right now. I thank you, as always, nerds, for checking it out. Again, stay tuned to the Nerdy stores, the general store, for updated designs every month. We drop at least one new design every month. Go check that out. We'll see you over there. But now let's finish the show, shall we? Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in. If you want to level up your nerdy, geeky, pop culture knowledge, then don't forget to subscribe and do all of the things. Go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy, for the larger portion. Again, you get all of these sections into one convenient video over on Generally Nerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. Thank you for checking out this clip. We will see you next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, probably here.